probably before now, I sent a link to register account um, on the this Replet platform. I don't know how many people that have done that. Um, so we're going to be taking our time to navigate through the Replet platform, and the president supposed to take us on a tour on this Replet platform. So I don't know how many that have done that. So I wouldn't know how many that have forked this project. So you are required to fork it, create this to help you track our progress. All the cohort meetings and cohort assignments would be carried out on this Replet platform. So I already forked that. So type the name you want and the description to help you track um, our activities and the projects that we're going to be doing. So it's required that you create after forking the project, you're required that you create a repo, right? So you can create a repo by creating a repo, then choose any of the program that you want to be using. So for us, we are using Python. So I don't need to create that because I already created that earlier before now. So I just want to show you how you can create. So I click on here and boom, I have uh, my repo platform here. We can try the tab. Okay. So here is where I can see all the list of my file on this place. You can see the file I've created. So most of you who fork the repo will notice that it was empty when you fork the repo. It was actually empty. So that's why you are seeing the empty folder. So here is where we can type our code. I think we also have setting. We have settings. Let's check the tools. We have settings here. This show. Trying to see where we have that setting. Collapse. Okay, there's a place we have setting. Should be setting around here, but I am looking for that place to have setting so that we can do some setting before we start. Okay, no setting at all. Trying to see if we can see setting. Didn't able to collapse this. All right. We're supposed to have setting here, but I don't know why I'm not seeing setting. But regardless, let's move on. All right, let's move on, please. Let's move on. Okay. So here we have the code which we're going to be using here, which is Python, just an empty folder. So like every other programming language, if you want to create a Python file, you can just create python.py. So the file name must always start with what? With py. So let's move into the class officially. Just give me some minutes. Let me grab my slide. I have a slide for it. So, all right. Okay. Let me share only my slide alone. Let me show only this slide. All right. Mhm. Okay. So we are going to be looking at Python. So the Python courses, the different uh, topics that we're going to be covering, the comments, variables, data types, Python numbers, string, boolean, list, tuple, set, dictionaries, conditional statements, functions, libido, and array. So I will not be following this particular manual serially because of our 100 days with Skyline ICT. It's better that it's very important that when we are done with the class, you train. So what you need to do a screenshot of what you've learned and tag me, and then 100 days with Skyline, coding with Skyline ICT. So that's what we're going to be doing every day, and I'll be taking records. So that will also help me know those that are flowing up. So the book is there for you to leverage on. So before we start learning uh, Python, there's important things that we all need to know. And of course, a lot of millions and thousands of websites are using Python. A lot of millions and thousands of websites are using Python. I will also like to define what is Python. Then with that, that can give us an overview of what Python is all about and what you can do with Python. Very important. Um, Python is an open source, object-oriented, high-level, general-purpose programming language. I know that will sound very confusing for some of us. Now, I say Python is what? It's an open source. I want you to note down this word or write it down. I believe you must. At least this is the back end. So one of the things I require for you to have your biro. Your biro and your writing materials. Very important because the head no go fit carry everything. The one where head no fit carry, write them down. So or you get your sticker. I have sticker. For me, if you come to my laptop, you have sticker. Uh, So Python is an open source. Now, underline the word open source. I'm going to explain what is an open source. Underline that word open source. Underline the word open source. So Python is an open source, comma, object-oriented, comma, high level, comma, general purpose programming language. Right? So now, so let's just take a look at these characteristics separately. Now I say that Python is an open source. What is open source? Now, open source is something that is free and available for everybody. So that means for you to use Python, you don't need to spend a dime, right? It is free and it's also an open source. Now, open source also means that something that people can improve, anybody can modify, right? When they say it's an open source, that means anybody can modify Python, use it to do whatever they want to do. It is free. It is not paid. You can't see anywhere where somebody will ask you to pay him money to help you download Python, right? So it's an open source, like I said, it's an open source, which is it is free and available for further improvement, like adding useful word features or fixing bug. So it is free and open for everybody. Now I also said an objects oriented. I say Python is an open source and object oriented. Now when they say something is an object oriented, it based not on functions, right? If you recall, we have what we call procedure programming. Then where you only use procedure programming, you write a lot of code. In fact, you keep repeating yourself. Now, when they introduce the object-oriented pattern in programming, so what you need to do is to import. So we are going to be seeing one of the benefits of object-oriented, where we use model and instance methods and classes, right? So a class can have as much as function on a particular class, and the instance and also the method of that function. I know this is a bit confused. Don't worry yourself. When we move further, you will understand about the whole scenario rather. So I said that it's an open source, which means that Python is free. Then it's object oriented. So it is not based on function, but based on objects, right? So that means Python have different packages you can use to achieve whatever you want to do. So what you need to do is install it and import. So object oriented. So it is not built based on class, but it's built based on methods and attributes and instances. Now, when I say high level, right? High level programming language. So Python is an open source, object oriented, high level, and general purpose. Now, what I mean by high level programming language, that means that Python is human friendly, right? Anybody can understand Python. Unlike other programming language, you will see it here. You read Python the way if you can understand English, right? If you understand how to read and write, of course, you are good to go with Python. You don't need to know mathematics, don't need to know any subject at all. What you need to do, if you can read and write, then you are good to go with Python. So it is high level human friendly. So which means is what? It's friendly. It's very easy to learn. Now, I think it's also a general purpose programming language. That means Jado can be used to create any kind of software at all. So unlike other programming language like PHP, like Node.js, right? So Node.js is only used for web, right? You can only use it for websites, which is one of the JavaScript, unless you are going to use a different library, right? I don't know about that, but I know that Node.js is popular for what? For website building, right? So unlike other programming language that are actually good at a particular thing. So some people say, if you want to go into banking sector, then they will say go and learn C, go and learn Java, go and learn Oracle. These are programs that most of them are not even object oriented. Recently they start upgrading those programs to object oriented. C++ is not an object oriented programming language, so it is very difficult and it's not friendly. So how many people can spend months and years in understanding a simple syntax of C++? The time you use in doing that, somebody that is learning Python is done and he started making money, and you are still learning one programming language. So general purpose, like I said, can be used to create any kind of program at all. Virus, software, website, data visualization, robotics. So there is no limitation to what you can do with Python. So the classes, this our class is not just a lot of web development, but we are covering all round of Python, right? Now, why is Python our choice for tonight for this program? Why not Node.js? Why not PHP? Why not a lot of them? There's a lot of them. Why not use this particular program? Now, one is that Python is very easy to learn. Very, very what? Easy to learn. And it's one of the simplest programming language in the world today. And it's the best, and also has a very large community. Now, Python has external libraries that we can leverage on. Let's say you want to build a particular thing, and maybe you have a software to build, and your client is just giving you like a month or two to finish all the project. Okay, like just what just happened few days ago. A client, most of us that in my team, like the guy, and will testify about this. He came and blah blah blah. Somebody paid somebody job to do, and the person was not able to do the job. Said that he just need to or to complete the job within 2 months. This is what we are talking about. It's a polytechnic website, right? A school website. It's a polytechnic website, not just normal website, but the polytechnic. We are talking about a polytechnic website. That means it has to do with admission processing. It has to do with checking of results, printing of results, student management, call registration, you know, different kind of, we are going to be working with a lot of data. And we told the client that we can deliver the first part of the project within 1 week. He was like, wow, really? I say yes. You understand? So this is what we are looking at when it comes to Python. And there is a external library that we can leverage on and use it to achieve whatever that we need. Now, when I say that Python is a what? Is an open source, object-oriented, high-level, general-purpose programming language. I believe that I'm no longer speaking in French. I'm not speaking English. You know what open source is all about. You know what object-oriented is all about. You know what high-level is all about, and then general-purpose programming language. So now, what can you do with Python? What can you do with Python when you are done learning this 100 days in Python? What can you do? Now, with this 100 learning in Python, you can also use Python for data analysis. Most of you will notice that one of the trending high-paying job now is data analysis. So you can use that. You can use Python to do data analysis, and one of the most famous library to use for conducting analysis is pandas and numpy. These are the two most popular Python libraries. So now, why are we having these libraries? Now, libraries are just like framework, right? So when you are done learning Python, you then decide the area that you want to focus on. So if you decide you want to focus on data science or data analytics, you don't need to go and learn another Python again. It's the same Python you are going to use for your data analysis, which you are going to be using pandas and numpy. Then Python can also be used in data visualization, right? So it can be used in data world visualization, and one of the most popular libraries you can use is what we call Matplotlib. So it's a Matplotlib, and then we have Seaborn. So this Seaborn is one of the popular library you can use for data visualization in Python. So these are the libraries. That means when you are learning Python, you can decide to specialize in any of the skills or any of the program or any of the area that can help you. So just focus on that area. It's not actually tailored at a particular thing. So we also have machine learning, right? Machine learning, and of course we know that the world is evolving, and every companies are looking for machine learning engineers. So as a Python scientist, you can also leverage on machine learning, and of course to predict machine learning more or less to predict and to model model data. And then another one of the most popular library for machine learning is what we call TensorFlow and PyTorch. So PyTorch and TensorFlow are more the most popular framework for Python to use for machine learning. Then we also have software development. So if you want to build software development like desktop, GIS desktop, which is user interface for application programming interface like desktop. Want to build a desktop app? You can also leverage on Python as well. We have a lot of app, TikTok and TikTok and co that can help you achieve your goals in building app. So we also have Python for web development and for app, which is Django and Flask. So now when you look at all this, we also have Python for task automation and scripting. So you can use Python for task automation and scripting. Then you also use Python to build malicious plugins, like to monitor socket records, to create bots, robot bots like Telegram bots and co. So there is nothing you cannot do with Python. Like maybe somebody hire you to create a Telegram bot for him. He can quickly use Python, do a Telegram bot, can be an investment Telegram bot, put two and get three for free. You know, it can be tac, I be touch. Well, there's a one popular platform now. See tac, I be top. I don't know what they call it. I see people doing it online. So you can also use Python to achieve the same result as well. So there is no limitation to what you can do with Python. So when you look at what we have here, millions of websites are using Python, right? And a company like Spotify, Netflix, Uber, Dropbox, Pinterest are using Python for some of their back-end programming language. So what you can do with Python, like I explained earlier, you can use Python for machine learning, mobile, website, gaming, data processing, hardware, robotics, animating tasks, and so on and so forth. Right? These are the projects. As a beginner, these are the projects that we can build some of these projects. Like, of course, we are going to be building a bot that sends email, bot that a robot that does posts on your Twitter, and a lot of things that we're going to be doing tonight. So you can see the introduction of Python was actually created by Gida Rosom. So that's a Russian guy. He's a software engineer. Python was actually created in 1991 and further developed by Python Software Foundation. Like I said, the reason why Python is highly involved in it because it's an open source. It's not controlled by one person. So different programmers can modify Python and use it to do whatever they want to do as well. So to install Python, you can download Python on this particular website. Quickly go to Python. Just a simple Google search. Let me share my screen so they can be seeing my entire screen. Excuse me, sorry. Okay. We have Python. So when you Google Python, you can see we have Python here. Like I said, it's high level general purpose programming language. So you know what this high level is all about. That means very easy, and you can use it to do anything you want to do, right? So you can come here to welcome to Python, and when you come to this place, you can download the latest version of Python. So I don't read this documentation. You are going to get lost. Please don't even there, right? So that when we say, let me read document. So you can click it, give it a click here, and it will be downloaded on your, you can see, download on your machine. Then you install the Python. We're not started using VS Code for now. We'll start using VS Code, but it's also important that you download and then save the Python on your local machine. So that's what we need to get started with Python. So next thing we are going to be doing here is you can see the procedure here. The procedure is on your book there. So when you are done installing Python, open your Android what's it called? It's VS Code, then not VS Code rather terminal, and type Python. So it will show you the version of the Python you are using. Sometimes some latest Windows like Windows 11, I think they do come with default Python. So you can install different version of Python. So it doesn't mean that if you have a Python now, you can't install another Python. So you can install different version of Python. Then you create a video environment for it, so they can start using Python. So that is a few things about Python we are going to be looking at tonight. So let's move into the main coding for tonight's class. That like I told you, we are going to be starting with the things I've listed out earlier. Excuse me. The things I've listed out earlier about comments and so on and so forth. So the first thing we need to do is to create a Python. The theory can take me like approximately let's say 30 minutes to finish up theory, and we will be very time conscious. I have to be very time conscious so that wrap it up as soon as possible. All right. So first thing we're going to be looking at is not comment, but what we call print. Right? What is print in Python? Now, if you notice in JavaScript, we use console.log. There are ways of printing out your code in what in your local machine. The way you can print out whatever you are writing. So we are going to be looking at that and move into the area of printing, how we can be able to print then something outside our what's that called it, outside our models that we are using. So what you need to do first is to look at what we have. You come to this place. I'm going to be creating a file. Yeah, I'm going to be creating a file here. So I come under here. Then what I need to do, click here, and then I'll add the file. So the file I'm going to add will be the one.py. So we've created a folder called the one.py. So all the project that we are going to be building will be displaying on the console. So if you notice, JavaScript has a browser console. We will leverage your browser console, but Python, we are going to be using either terminal or console. Then we also have this shell. So this shell, when it comes to this shell and you type Python and enter, you notice that the Python we are using is the latest Python. So when it comes to this, please see that we are using 3.12.4. And when we come back here, you see 3.10, okay. Although 3.10 what we are using here. So what our device to use 3.10. Now how can you get 3.10? So when it comes to this Python, we have view full list of downloads. Give it a click, and then you scroll down. So when you scroll down here, you see different version of Python. So you can easily download this, which was actually released on March of this year. You give it a click and follow the procedure, then download and install it as well. So we'll go back to our repo. Then what we are going to do is print. Unlike Java, where you say console.log, Python is different. So if I want to print anything in Python, all I need to do is to use what? Print. So immediately type print, you notice that this platform is very robust. You also have an AI, right? An AI that can help you learn. So when you click on the AI here, you can easily type anything you want on this AI to, I think they have, say we should click on tab. So we have an AI tools. Let's click on that AI tools, which is enabled. Okay, I think it's here. But click on here, then you can add the AI. Create a Python function. So the AI will just quickly create a Python function for you. You can see immediately you I understand you want to create a Python function. You can say write a Python function code that goes at so we just send this and boom, we get the result. So it's still connecting. So basically this will also help you to learn, not helping you to solve problem, to write code, but it help you to learn. So you take it through on what Python for calculate area, get this. You can see different kind of Python function that is there. So let's go back to our console. So what we are going to do is to print. So we click on print. We are going to open. So when you open here, so this is what we are going to, whenever we want to print out anything in Python, right? We just use print. So the print here is used to print out any object at all in what? In Python. So it's also very important that you know that that's what we use in printing out objects in Python. Basically, it's also very simple. And here we can, if we want to print that, let's say 2200, and we'll type 200, then we'll click on print. So we run the code. Run the code again. This AI is so let's see the code that we're running. Okay, console. It should be running on the terminal. So I'm not seeing what I am running here. Just hold on. Okay, just hold on. Let's try something. Hello world. Hello world. Alright, let's try to run this. Um, mm, why is it not running? So it's running. Let's close this. So I don't know why. Let's try this other one. Don't know why it's not running. Let's try hello. What? Okay. This is running hello what? Mm, let me collab this. Ah. Mm, mm, who can help us? Can help us now? Open your mouth and help us because I don't know why. Okay. No, this is not what we need. So let me come here. When you run, okay. I want to put it the way it is before. I want to put it the way it is before. What do I? Okay, go hold on. Let me check these tools. I wanted these tools to change the top. Mm, close to the right, close to others. If I wish I can see the setting. Ah, what is all this now?
Sir, the setting should be somewhere there.
Yeah, I'm looking for the setting. I can't even see the setting. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's in the tools. In the tools.
In the tools,
Let's go down. Yeah, there should be settings there.
I'm not even seeing it.
Mm,
Let me scroll. There should be settings here. I don't know why.
yes, there is always settings there now.
Yes.
Sir, can it not be scrolled? I think I see a scroll bar by the right there. Can you not scroll it?
No, this is not scroll bar. This is actually used
You
for.
can scroll it.
Okay.
That one is just on the list.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
There is setting there.
All
User
right.
setting.
I'll
And
see
there is
this. I'll see this. So default layer side by side.
yes, side by side and stacked.
It's on start by start now. Okay. That's fantastic now. Oh, thank you very much. Actually. Okay. Put it on large so we can see more. All right. Okay. So let's try to run it again. All right. That's fantastic. Let me collapse this. Okay. So like I was saying earlier, sorry for the inconvenience. Sorry for the data. NEPA just took light. Sorry. All right. Let's go back. So this a print, right? It's a function. So just like a function, it's a Python inbuilt function that you can use to print a response. So what we did here was to print what we call a string. So this is a string, right? So this is called a string. So that's why you want to see here is having a open single quotes and a close of single quotes. That means whatever we're having here, it is not a variable, but it's a string, right? So we understand what string is all about, and it's a stream of character. And what we are printing here, let's see, whatever we are printing here is not limited to just string alone. You can decide to print number. So if it's 200 and you hit it up, you notice that we have what 200 here. So this is what we use to this is what we use to print out something in what in a variable in Python. So the word print, unlike JavaScript, when you want to print, they will use console.log. So if we look at even the syntax of Python, it is very simple compared to JavaScript. So this is very simple. You use to what to print objects or whatever you want in what in Python. So you can use it to print objects. You can use it to print anything at all. Now, if we also come here and let's say I use hello skyline student, right? Then we'll come here and click on hello skyline student, and you can see how are you doing today? Trust, sorry. So let's try if we can go down. Okay, so it's not allowed, so let's leave it. Trust you are fine. Now when you print this, I notice that we are having what we call was not closed. So it said, how are you today? Fine. Say health stream dot does not close. Now when you look at this error, the way you can fix the error is very simple. You can copy this error. If you don't understand what the error means, you can copy it and then come to Google. Go back, copy the error, come to Google. The error is not copied. So let's go back again. I think we should have copy. Then go to Google and paste this here. So let's say,
Sir,
yeah,
hello, sir.
yeah,
Hello, sir.
I
yeah,
think
fine.
the error is from the double quote you started the string
Don't worry,
from,
don't worry,
and
don't
you
worry,
used the single quote.
don't worry. I say don't worry, don't worry. So you copy this error and then you come here. Ah, the error I'm copying is not even what kind of stuff is this? I'm trying to copy. Copy. All right. So when you come here, you notice that any error you're having in programming, that somebody somewhere have experienced that error. So when you have such error, what you need to do, it is very simple. You just need to copy the error and then type. Now, when you copy the error and search for it, you will notice somebody already explained that error for you. And then before you do that, make sure that you read the error this person is talking about. If it's not the same thing with what you have, leave it, look for another one. Don't just go down because you said syntax crack tab syntax error was never closed. Then you read through. You say, I tried to explore Python badge view, blah 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 blah. Then read, then go straight, go line by line. So the responses start from there. You can see a lot of responses. Scroll down, you can see more. There will be more responses from different authors. So, however, because today is also going to be doing the debug, so what we need to do is go back to our so here we have double quote. We need to move it to single quote. So when you come here and run this, let's clear our terminal. You can clear history, then run it again. Now notice that we have hello Skyline student, how are you doing today? Now one good thing about Python is that what if you want this particular thing to be in another line? You can copy this and then duplicate here. Now when you duplicate, you run it, notice that it's in another line. But in a situation where you have a lot of string that you are writing, you are printing out, and you want it to be in a new line, the best way to do that is very, very simple, right? So to be able to break that object, break it based on a new line. Now what you need to do, hello Skyline student, comma. So what we are going to do here, we'll use backslash and n. So the backslash n means what? A new word, a new line. So the backslash m means a new line. Now if you want to add a comment on Python, you use the word hash, or you can go control slash to add your comment. Highlight it and go control slash to add your comment. Now if I run this thing again, notice that on this one, I'm having what? A new line, Skyline ICT or Skyline, how are you doing today? So this is a way you can be able to print your stream in Python. So there are different ways to do that. It's not just tailored and at only, what is this now? Why is this in? Want to click now? Long. Escape. All right. So another thing you also do is that you can also use a double quote, right? That does not mean that you can use a single quote. Now, another thing about Python is like Python also have what we call, is very sensitive about indentation. So I can say hello. Now, if you notice that this particular hello, you can say hello, Skyline students. Now, if you notice that what will actually happen here is that if you notice this one is not in the same line with this. So Python is very, very sensitive when it comes to indentation. And unlike every other programming language where you can come up and type it anywhere you want, it's totally different from Python. So you must follow the Python syntax, which is what? If you try to print this, you are going to have what we call indentation word error. You are going to have some error because Python requires that you stay in the same word, in the same line. If I run this code now and you see what I'm having here, indentation word error, unexpected index. Now, if you look at the back, you see that we have red. So this red means that something is actually wrong with our code. So what you also need to do, if you don't really understand this problem, just copy this, right? And like I told you earlier, copy it, come to here, and then type. Now, when you type, one of the popular forums that we developer use is what we call Stack Overflow. So you can go and create a Stack Overflow account, and then that will help you in posting your question so that other people, other members in the community can contribute and help you as well. Now, if you look at what this guy is saying, say this is about 15 years ago, right? He said, what should I do with unexpected indentation in Python? Now, when you scroll down, you see a code frame figment that produce the error will help you understand your problem better. Please edit your question to indicate some code. Now, this is what they told him. Now, you see another person again come up here and say, this sounds like a white space issue to me. So a code sample would be useless. How do I rectify the error? By identifying where it occurs and fixing the blah, 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 blah. Then you scroll down also. You see the code. You say Python use space at the start. Python uses space at the start of the line to determine which code block start and end. Error you can get below. So whenever you add a space in Python, so we have what we call unexpected index, which means this line of code has more space at the start than the one before. So this is actually what was the problem. Then when you come down here, you notice that we have a space here. You click on back. So when you click on back, try to run your code again. You notice that we have our code run what successfully. So this is only where you can be able to print out something in Python. You can either use a double quote or you can either use a single quote. Now, like I told you earlier, it's not just tailored at the particular thing alone. You can also print numbers, right? You can also print numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you click on save. Now, if you click on this, you can notice that we have this number. Now, if you come here and say type of number, let's clear our VS Code. Then you run. You notice that the type of number is what we call what? Integer. Are you getting me? So the class in Python we call it class. So the class of this man is what we call what? Integer. If you also try to print this man as well to type in JavaScript, it says type of, right? You can see this one is very simple. So you don't need to put type of, right? Very, very short and straightforward. So you click on type, wrap the type inside the string. Then when you run the code again, we are going to see that we have two different types. So the first type we have is a type of string, which stands for what? Character. So strings are what? Combination of what? Of characters. Then another thing we also have what we have what? The integer. Now, the integer and the string. We also have another one. Like unlike every other programming language, that JavaScript only have two types of number. Now I can say 7.0, right? This can return a number. But in JavaScript, it can return what? A number. This can return what we call a float. So we can say type, open, then close, run this. Notice that we have three types. So in Python, each element has a different type. So it helps Python to be able to control, manage it. But in JavaScript, we call all these numbers. So you can see that this particular data type and this data type and these are not what? Are not the same. So I am done with printing in Python. So it's a very simple class. Let's move into stream. So like I told you, look at our topic for today. So we'll move into stream and learn what stream is all about and how to can be able to use this stream before we move on to Python what? Variable. So now let's talk about stream. Now let's talk about stream. Now what is stream? Well, most of us who did JavaScript understand what stream is like. So stream in Python are surrounded by either a single quote or a double quotation. So you can either surrender using what? A single quote or a double quotation, like I told you here. So you can use what? A single quote or a double quote. This is not a string. So immediately you add this man, a double quote or a single quote, it changed from number to what? To a string. Are we communicating? So it changed your number to a string. So for the type of all the Pythons, so maybe you have this type, automatically whatever that the value that holds this will be a what? Either a string. It's only string. So when you add this code, that means every number there will become what? A string. Unlike what we have here, let me comment on this. So if you come here and clear this out and print, you notice that we have two stream, then one float, right? Two stream and what? And one float. Like I told you, a stream is surrounded by what? By either a single quote or a double quote in Python, right? So it is not actually limited to a particular Python alone. So let's try to assign a string to a variable. Now, I don't want to talk about variable here. In our next session, we'll talk about variable. But what I'm focusing majorly is what is a string. So a string are a sequence of what? Of characters. So when I mean sequence of characters, we can say A is a string. Let's come here. A is a string, B is a string, C is a string. So all this from A to Z, they are what? They are strings. This is what we call sequence of what? Of characters. So each of the character that you are seeing here is what? It's a string. So is a string what? A sequence of characters. So they are like array in what? In JavaScript, right? So I can decide that here I have a sequence of character. Let's say I have a sequence of character like so I'm going to just save something on a variable. I say chat equals to. Then we'll talk about variable in Python. I will say Skyline ICT Consult LCD. Now, like I told you, this is a sequence of character. Now, if you come here, if you come to this place and click on print charts, of course, we are going to have whatever they were printed that put the skylineict.com. Now, I also, like I told you earlier, streams are also arrays, right? They are what? They are arrays. We all know what is arrays or list. So arrays are a group of what? Of lists. So this is a group of characters, right? So it can be seen as what? As array. Let's say I want to get an array in this number of 0 or this number of 1. Don't worry about this. What you need to do, listen to me, we will get to that. when we get to that, it become more what? More clearer. So let's say I want to get a sequence character of 2 or a sequence character of 3, right? So what I need to do is come here. Method I put this, we call this in Python a list. So let me show you why it's called a list. I will have another variable. I will say item, right? Item. Now in this item now, assign a variable equals to. Then when I put this, then let's print the type of the item and see what's going to happen. So when I say it's a list, this is why it's a list. You can check the item. Sorry, let's put this to side a type of sorry. So here we have a type. Right. So it's usually have autocomplete. That's why I love this platform so much. So when you click on run, we have what we call syntax error. Perhaps you forget a comma. So when you look at it, you look at the line 10 is where we're having this issue. So this is the line. So read it where you see that we're having issue in this word, in this line 10. So let's comment on this line 10, so that we can quickly clear our, and then we run this again. So we run this again here. You will see that we have a type of what? A type of list. So you can see this empty item is what? Is a list, right? So when we use this empty item, means that we are calling a list. Now let me type something in this empty item so that we see something. Skyline. Now Skyline ICT Ltd. If you come here to print this item, select print the item, then item. You notice that we have an issue. So what's the issue we have here? So on the line 5, so which is this line. All right, so we have issue. You can see we forgot to promote this, just this index. All right, so let's clear again and run our code. Now when you run our code, you notice that we have this as what? As a list. So we also did a type. So then initially we did a what? A type of this list is giving us what? A list. So a list is a container that have a lot of items inside of the container, and this container can be accessed using what we call indentation, right? Index key. So we have what we call the index key. That means in programming language or in any computer do not start counting from 1 to 3. No, computer start from what? From 0. That's why I say computer can only store 0 and what? And 1. So if you come here, because it's the list, and we decided that we want to access this from what? Using an index of 0, which will give us just Skyline. And then when you access that, you notice that, excuse me, we're having what? Skyline. So if you come here and say 2, you notice that we're having what? We're having the 2 is at let's clear. So let's run it again. You notice that we're having the what? Consorts. Now this down bring me back to the charts, right? The character, like say it's sequence of what? Of character. Now when you come here, comment on this first. Okay, let's comment on this first. Comment on this. Then we come back here and print. We have the charts, and then we put the list of 0. Remember, I did not add this in a list. I just added it in what? A normal stream. So when you come here, clear, and then run this code, you notice that we're having what? We're having X. Are you getting me? So let me screw this down. Let me remove this. And then when you come here, immediately you load, you see that we're having what? X. So it's a sequence of characters. So each of them is a stream. Each of this is a stream. Each of this is a stream. So that's how you can be able to have be able to call in a stream. You can also loop into what? Into a stream. You can also check the length of a stream. Let's say we have Skyline Console Limited, and I want to check the length of this stream. So what I need to do is come here, print, then call the length, right? the length of the string, you can see charts. Then when you run boom, you notice that we have the length of the string of what? Of like 7, right? The length of the string like 7. So there's a lot we can use, which I don't want to go into in depth. We can use string to achieve. But the main thing is that understand that string are what? They are sequence of character. Either you can use a single quotation or a double word, a double quotation. So this is the string. Talk about prints. So here we have, and that's also we're going to do with string is that let's see how we can combine many 2 or 3 strings together. Like I told you, it's a sequence of what? Of character. Now we're going to use what we call concatenation. Concatenation. Now concatenation means that collecting those strings together, then those strings of character together, then merge them into one. Let's say here I have print. Let's go down. Let's go down so that let's say here I have a print. Then inside this print, I have right. I have this. I have hello. Put this here. Remove this. So what we are going to do here is very simple. So we'll come here and see hello world. Okay, I have let's get a variable name equals to Olisa Macaulay Skyline. Right? Now we want to see how we can combine this string and this string together. You can say hello world. So if you notice that he's giving us placeholder already, telling us what to do, but however, we are not following him. Hello, I am. Then, so let's say hello, I am. Here we have name. So, right. So, hello, I am name plus. So, if we want to concatenate a string, so what you need to do is that hello, what I am. Then you call the name, put plus here, and call the name. I am a student at what? At Skyline, right? These are actually auto-generated, but however, I love it this way. So hello world, I am. So you put plus here and plus here. Then when you come here to clear your cache, then you run this. When you run, you notice that hello world, I am a student of what? Student, I am Macaulay, I am hello world. So we need to put like comma, here. Hello, I am Macaulay Skyline. Then what we need to do, we put plus. Now, let's say for instance, we remove this plus and then try to run it again. You notice that we're going to have a word invalid syntax error. Perhaps you forget comma, right? So the invalid syntax error is telling you that you are going beyond, you are violating Python rule, right? So the Python rule requires that either we add comma or we add what? Plus. So this is what we use to do what? To concatenate. Now let me show you another thing. I can say they come here, I see scale. Then I see Python and Django. Right? Now this Python and Django, if I come here and say print name and scale. Now if you print both together, this will not work, right? So what you need to do when I come here and print it, you see, we still have going to have the syntax word error. So you can either put a comma here, then you are good to go. Let's quickly clear this and then click on run. So when I click on run, you notice that we have Orisa Macaulay Skyline, right? Orisa Macaulay Skyline, Python, and what, and Django. So you can also decide to use plus. Use plus. Then when you load it, let's click on that, clear this, and then I also want to clear this as well. Then run it. Now when you run it, say Orisa Macaulay Skyline and this. You notice that this is what we call concatenation. That's what you are going to use to concatenate different strings together. Let's say I want to also come here and print something. Print then inside this string I have I am, then here you have plus name. You need to do it outside the, so this plus need to be outside. Why are people forcing me to do what I don't want to do? So plus, then scale, then plus. Then what I can do here is say I am Skyline. So my name should be here. I am Skyline Macaulay. I am Skyline Macaulay, comma. You can use scale, Python, and Django, then developer, right? So here, if you want to concatenate, just use was plus. So you can use plus or you can use comma. So if you run this, you see what we have. I am Macaulay Skyline. I am Macaulay. I am Macaulay Skyline. Now, if you notice here, there is no space. There is no space here. So when you look at here, what you need to do is to click here and put some spaces and run it again. Let's clear before we run it so that we can see everything clearer. You notice that I am Macaulay Skyline, a Python, so Skyline. So what I need to do here also, concatenate a, you also put concatenate here, a scale plus developer, right? So when you look at it here, I am Macaulay Skyline, a. So what you need to do, you give space, then come here, clear. So see what we have here. I am Macaulay Skyline, a Python and Django developer. So this is how you can concatenate string. So very, very important. So this is how you can also concatenate one string. There is a different way of also having getting different ways you can use a string. Now, we are left with two subjects before we wrap it up for the class. Now, we've been able to cover printing, right? And also let's do about comment in Python. Of course, you don't know what comment is all about. Let's say comment can be used in two ways. Either you don't want your code to run, you comment on it, or you are giving a clear documentation about your code. So that's two ways that you can use comment for. Then the comment, we have two types of comment in Python. We have the single line comment, we have the multi-line comment. Now, in the single line comment, I can decide to come here and put hash. Then I see this code will help you understand how Python work, right? So this is what we call a single line word, a single line code. Now I told you the comment can also be used to disable your code from running. So immediately I come back to this place and then put hash key. The minute I run this code, I notice that the code is no longer running. So let's clear our stuff. Then let's try to run the code again. You notice that I am blah 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 blah. Okay. Then comment on this again. Then run it again. You notice that the code is no longer running, right? So that is where you can achieve that. Another way you can achieve comment is using what we call a single word, a single code. 1, 2, 3. So we have this three of this. So this three of this will create a word, a multiple word, a multiple line comment. So this is a multiple line comment, like I told you, multiple line comment. You can add another thing again. This is working well. Well now, right? So if you come here and print boom, of course you're not going to see anything. So that's the two way of writing what comment in your Python. Now let's talk about variable. That's the big one, variable in Python. So this is day 2. So I'm going to be doing everything here in day 2. Talk about comments, talk about printing, and we also do a few of debugging, right? But we're going to be doing it more efficiently on debugging. Why are you debugging? So debugging is actually a process of finding a solution to a particular problem or identifying a problem, right? Let's say you run a particular code for a software and it's not working. So what you need to do is to debug, know the reason why it's not working. And that's also, don't code if you don't understand. When we start learning how to think like a programmer, then you got to know all these little things. So this is very simple, and I believe anybody here will, when you look at this code, you understand what the code is all about. Now let's move into variable. So this is becoming rowdy. I feel like creating the new, but however, let's leave it and move it with a variable. So we are going to be looking at variable in Python, which is also very simple to understand. That's why if you have a basic knowledge of JavaScript, you're able to understand what variable does. Now, variable is like a container, right? A container that stores data and values, right? So it's actually a temporary container that stores data and values for us. So it's very important to know that the variables help us to store what? To store data, to store let's say here I have a phone number. Let's say, for example, you have a book, right? Then in the, we have a contact book, a book that you write your contact detail of a person. Now, let's say, for example, you come and type 081015333, or let's say 101522496, right? Let's say type a number of a person in a book. If you come back to check that number, let's say you have like hundreds of numbers, and you come back to check that number. So it's very difficult for you to even find that number. So it's also important that you give it a word, a name, right? You give it what? A word, a name. So maybe you give it a name, you can use this name to call, to remember, okay, this is a confidence number. This is the guy number or his number. So that's why you need variable, to temporarily store what? Data. So this, there is no limitation to what the variable can store. So variable can store as large as 1 million data. So it stores this data for you, then you use it to store it in a database. So it temporarily holds this data for you, so they can use it to what? To store this data in what? In a database. Now the way to declare a variable in Python is very, very simple, right? It's very, very simple. So if you want to declare a variable in Python, so all you need to do is to call the name of that variable and assign the value. That is all. So let's say I want to call a variable with full name, a full name. Now, another thing is, if you give a full name here, this is not going to work. It's an illegal word, illegal variable. So what you need to do, you come here and put underline. Then this a variable that is holding what? A full name. Now, like I told you, there is no limitation to what you can store with Python. So let's say a phone number. equals to 08101524926, right? Then salary equals to, let's call it 10,000 naira. Right? Now 10.00. So the value, the type of a data is on the value, not on the variable. So the type of the data is what? Is on the value. So we have three types of data here. One, we have the float, we have the number, we have the integer rather, then we have the what? We have the string. We have the string. So if we want to look at this data, so when you come here, you print full name, then you come here and print phone number, phone. You come to this place and print so if we print all this out, so we have an error. So what error do we have? So the error we have here is telling us index loading 0 in decimal integer are not permitted, right? So you can also copy this and come. Now, if you come here, say loading 0 is not allowed in Python. So this is what I said. This one said I have a code for finding the possible combination of a given string in the list, but facing an issue with leading 0 getting an error like syntax, blah 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 blah, right? So now when you come down here, you see where do the number with zeros come from? If they are in your code, just do it with blah 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 blah, right? So everybody's having his own opinion. Say integer letters starting with 0 are illegal in Python. So this guy stately was specific in his statement. He said that integers literals starting with 0 are illegal in Python, other than 0 itself, obviously, because of the ambiguity. An integer literal start with what? With 0. That means Python does not support what? 0, right? And some people will say, if Python will not support 0, how will people type in their phone number? Phone numbers are string. Are you getting me? Amounts are integers. So there is no amount that starts with 0 or 0 point. Even though amount that starts with 0 point something, you must convert it to an integer, right? Now let's do something. You must convert it to what? To an integer. So let's go back. So let's just say we are removing the 0 for now, but I will show you how to convert this to an integer. Now, if you want this to work, you can convert it to an integer. If you still want to retain to a string, rather, if you want to retain the 0. Now, let me clear this and let's run it again. Boom. So you notice that where are we having this type from? I think I've commented something like type here. All right. Now we come down here. You notice that here we have the name, then we have another variable called number, then we have another variable called salary, right? Now we look at these are all what? Variables. Olisa Macaulay skyline, number, and then amount. Then another thing we also want to do is that to look at casting. Now if you also want to specify a data of what? Of a particular given object, you use what we call, let's say here I have a 0. Like I told you, when I run this 0, this will not work. So we are going to be having this indentation 0. Now I want to convert this to a string. Remember I told you we have different types of what? Of type, data type. Let me comment on this again. What is that data type? So let me comment on this again. Like I told you, data that we have then, like I explained earlier, let's remove the 0 again. We'll come back to this. So I say we have for now we are looking at three types, which is string, float, and what, and number. So let's see how we can convert this man to number, to a string, integer. So not integer, rather to a string. So what you need to do, you call TRO, then wrap this guy in what? So if you come here and load, let's see what will happen. Say, look at what is the issue. So it's still telling us we cannot. So the best way we can do it to add it what? This, a string, then this can go, run it, boom, and then of course we have this. So but this now is now no longer a number. So this is now a string, and this is also a string, right? Then we can write another number like let's say id underscore number. So we have like 509346, right? So when you console log, print, when you print this, you are going to have id number. Let's clear this, boom. So you can see that we have this. So another thing that also good at this is that we can convert all these things to a number, right? So we come here, we want to convert this to a string. You come here and you come here. So when you click on boom, so how can we check that if this man is a string? So let's quickly check the type. Open and close. We have to scroll up to comment on this other type that we added earlier. Then let's click and clear our history. Then now, so if you come in here, you notice that the amount is now what? A string. So you can even convert let's say this man to a number. Let's see if it can work because of the zero index that we're having here. Okay, let's print it out. Okay, that work. So we come here, we call the type you notice that we have what? The integer. So the number, let's make it more specific. The number is now, so I have my plus. Okay. Type of, okay, these have to come from, these have to be outside the type. Remove this entirely. So this need to be outside the type. So from here, the number is a type of, so of course, right? So we'll type using plus. So it's simple, it's not working on this one. So you just use concatenating. So the reason why it's telling us we cannot use plus is because if immediately you use string, this is a number because of this that we have. So if you use a type of a number, just like we are adding to full name plus number, which is not going to work. So let's quickly clear this and boom. So clearing this. Let's wait for it a little. Right, let's run the result again. Right, so when you come down, you see that the type of a number is what? Is an int. Then let's look at other type of variables that we have before we move into other things. So let's look at a variable. So variable are also case sensitive, the same way you have in JavaScript, right? So variable are what? Case sensitive. Let's say here we remove this to a salary of X, and then when you try to print this, we are going to receive an error. So the error we are receiving is that, let's quickly review the error. It's a very simple error. So the error we're having is that name salary is not defined. So when it's not defined, it means that we are calling this name, but this name is not a valid variable. So like I told you, variable are what? Case sensitive. And it doesn't start with number. So you can say 00, then you assign 90009. So when you run this code, of course, you are going to have an error, invalid decimal literate. So variable are not allowed to start with what? With a zero number. So they're also not allowed to start with a inbuilt keyword, say print. I come here, put 2020. So if we print this, you notice that we are having a what? Similar similar issue where you are calling the print. Because I still have the issue here, the print ID. Okay, let's comment on this. So we're still going to have an issue with this. So try to print this out. That will still give you an issue, which I'm very, very sure, because it's a reserved key. Right, let's clean up, boom, run this. So you can see that we have this issue. So we can't use an inbuilt keyword. Then moving ahead also, we are going to be looking at the variable assignment. So we can also assign a variable in a multiple object. Now, how do you assign a variable in a multiple object in Python? Let's say here we have like first underscore name, comma, first underscore name 1, first underscore name, underscore name 2, put your comma. Please always make sure you put comma. So first underscore name 3. Now, like I told you, you can use 3. So you can use Python to store multiple values. So Python allows to assign value to multiple variable in one line. So what we do here is that we assign multiple value in multiple variable and value in one line. So let's start print and see what's going to happen. Print. So first name, then run it, boom. So when you print it here, let's comment every other code that we are not using, so that we'll not have a lot of things to print out. So let me clear this so you can see very clear. So now, if you print this, you notice that this is what Macaulay. That means the first variable goes with the first one. So if I also come here to print the second, first one. Okay, I think there's a problem here. All right. Then hit it. You notice that we have Olisa, Macaulay, Olisa. Then we also have another one, the last one, which is print. We have the third. Boom. So you notice that we have all these stored elements, right? So you can also add one value to multiple what's that called it? You can also add one value. We use one value to add multiple variable. Let's say we have this. Let me duplicate this also. Then comment on this. So here I will say we have 4, we have 5, we have 6. So inside this 5 and 6, so what we can do here is to use this equals to this equals to this. Then all these two now equals to what? Let's say, hold this up. Macaulay. So if we try to print, if we try to print all this, you call here print all this first name, to print first name 4, then print first name 5, this, then print first name 6. So let's run this. Let's clear this and run it. So we're having line 69 is not defined. So they said this first name is not defined. First name goes to right.
Check that first name 6. There's no underscore
Sir,
after
sir,
first.
he didn't put other names. He didn't put like the 2 other names.
No, we don't need to put that.
The
So I'm saying there's no underscore after print first name for that 6.
Yeah, the number 6.
Okay, yes, 6. Okay, let's run it. 6, first name 6 is not defined. The 6 is not defined. Let's copy this and let's replace it here. I think that's a problem. Right, let's run it
Hello,
again.
sir. The first is not well spelled.
Check
There's
your
no R.
spelling. Check your spelling.
Don't worry, it's corrected now. So I think
It will run.
you can see that all these values are now stored as what? As one value. So let's look at the last one, is global variable, right? So remember, in JavaScript you have different kind of variable. We have const, we have var, but Python only have one pattern, one way of writing variable. So we also look about the global variable. So now variable that is created, a global variable are like let's see, let's call them global variable, right? So those variables that are created outside, right? That are created outside the function are called what? The global variable. So they can be used anywhere in the function, both inside and what and outside what the function. So remember in JavaScript, if you want to create a global variable, you must call the function the variable outside the function, right? That means as long as it's at the top before the function, it can be accessed anywhere in that code, right? So let's look at the global variable. Let's see here, we have student course. So in that student course, we have Python programming. So in the Python programming now, let's say we want to access this Python programming somewhere. You can say if you want to create a function in Python, so very different, very different from JavaScript. So JavaScript you use function, right? No, why in Python you use what we call define. Def means define. So give him any name. I can say student, define student. So you open brackets. So you can, I'm not talking about a function now, but I just want to show you something. So here I can say no parameter for now, right? You put this here dot, the way you write your function, then you enter. You can say print. We should be wrapping up this so that you can say print student course is, right? Student course is what? Is course. So you put your space here. Then let's comment on this. Then you give it the click, boom. So if you notice that we're having what number? Number 25. It said unintermittent stream lecture delete dictated. So okay, it's going to be student course. So you can see we didn't save the variable well, so put underscore. Make sure you put underscore, right? So student, right? So when you come here, you look at this. So print student is, so what's actually going on here is that this is a function. Don't bother knowing all this, right? So what we are looking at there is that we want to check global variable. So this is called a global word variable. That means we can access it outside this place. So you can access it inside here or create any function to access that global variable. So let's clear this. So let's load. So we're having print is course. So let's see where the problem is coming from.
The last quote you put in course.
Okay, yeah. So we remove that and then print it. You see that we have okay, we notice that it's not printing, right? If we try to print that, it is not really printing. So when they print this, it's not going to print. So like I told you, we need to invoke this variable. So if you want to invoke the variable, what we need to do is come here and call the student. The student. So when you call the student and you reload, then we've been able to invoke what? The variable. So what are we having here? Student. Okay, sorry.
No curly bracket.
Yeah, curly bracket. So put the curly bracket and then we call it, and then you see that student courses is what? Is programming. So apparently this is a global variable. So let's talk about local variable, right? So the local variable is this way. If we come here and copy this and comment on this, right? So when you comment on that, we can say come here and call the students. So in this students, if you come here, you copy this, for instance. So let's come down to this outside the function. Remember, inside the function is indentation, so you do everything inside the function. Now, if you come here and call this particular variable that is inside inside the function, so when you click and call it, you notice that student is not what? Is not defined. So this man is a local word variable. So why this one is a global word variable? So let me just call this to 2, right? Now this one here is a local word variable. So let's know the difference. Local variable, right? So why this one here is a global variable? Now the reason why it's a global variable means that you can access it anywhere, but this one can only be accessed inside the function. Now Python has a reserved keyword called global. So they help you to convert the local variable, which JavaScript does not have. You understand? They help you to convert that global variable to what? To a local variable to a global variable by simple adding a global, calling this name, yeah. Then
Global keyword.
you call global what?
Keyword.
Global. Then that global, you put the variable, this student. Now, if you come back here and click on search,
Global doesn't have SR.
yes, global is a reserved keyword. Right, fantastic. So when you declare that global variable and you click on save, you can see that we have, let's comment on this. You can see that we can be able to access this without having any error. Remember what he told us earlier, said variable not defined. So that will be all for variable. I want to be doing one topic, which is our last topic for today. I think our last topic for today is, so we'll be able to carry out this printing, commenting, debugging, then stream multiplication variable. So, and then now next one we want to do, which I didn't include here, is what we call an input, right? Now, input in Python, what is an input? So input are used to collect user what information. Are we together? We use input to collect user information. In JavaScript, we call it prompt, right? If I'm not mistaken. Now, we call it prompt in JavaScript. That's what we call in JavaScript, right? Prompt, if I'm not mistaken. Can somebody help me out? Is it called front? What is it called?
Yes, prompt.
Okay, it's called prompts, right? So now the user inputs in JavaScript. So let's look at it quickly. So here, I'm going to comment on this. You have access to all this source code if you follow the repository immediately. So now, what we have here is very simple. Let's say a user what? User input. Now, number one user input is that Python allow us to allow for user what input the same way JavaScript does, right? So now that means we are able to ask the user for information. So the user input was actually introduced in Python 3.6, right? So they also do the same thing in Python 3.7, but they then modify initially in Python 2.2, in Python 2.7. So if you want to call input, you just call the role underscore input, which is no longer available in the latest Python. But what they did in this current Python is quite very simple. So you can ask a user to enter anything they want, right? So whenever you print it, you ask the user to enter whatever they need. So it's very simple. So this is it. When I come here, print. Now if I see welcome to cohort, welcome to cohort search, right? Or cohort name generation. So we come to this cohort name generation. So what we can do is very simple. Now let me clear this. When you run this, notice that we are having welcome to cohort generation. So the code ends here. Now there's no way user can put any information. So I can decide to say print, then in bracket. So for you to have a user input, so what you need to do is use what we call input function. So the input function is what we can going to use to add a user input. So it's actually very, very simple, which you don't need extra stress for you to be able to carry that out. So it's actually very, very simple. You can use for what? For user input. So in the user input, what we are going to do is very simple, right? So when I say very simple, in a way that when they come here, we say input. So this input, then when we reload, you notice that we have this, a particular white background. So this white background, we can use it to enter whatever name we want to enter, and immediately we do that and we click on enter. Then when we click on enter, we'll see what we've entered. So it's actually used to collect user data. Very simple. So what you need to do to call the word the input. So I can say input, load it again, then scroll down, let's clear this up. Then here I can decide to call my name. Then I enter. So when I enter, I see that I have my calling. Now another thing also is that we are going to improve this user input. So what we are going to do is very simple. I can come here and say enter username, right? So meaning that I click on this enter username, then I have a place to enter what username. I can enter my username. And if you notice that as you enter username, there is no place for us that is giving us space. It's required that we need a space. So what you need to do is to come here and click on this. Then what you need to do is stop, clear the console, and reload. So you see that we are having what space where we can enter our name. Now we don't want to use input. So what we want to do is that we want to store this particular input to a variable. So when they come here, for instance, and you just put input, then let's improve it, enter a placeholder, enter your name. The way we have the Django form, right? The way we have your normal form. So that's what it is here. Enter your what? Your name. So when you click on enter your name and then you go and reload. So let's go up and comment on something. I don't really want to be seeing all this printing stuff that I'm no longer using. It's making my console look a bit rowdy. So now they ask us to enter a name. Now I enter a name, which I'm going to give a space, run again. So we enter a name. Notice that after entering a name, enter, nothing actually going to show because we are not using the right name. So what we are going to do is that we are going to save this in a variable, right? Username equals to. So this username will actually hold whatever that we are typing. So we want to, like, when you start typing and enter, we want to print out the word, the username. So I can just come here and see you entered, or you entered the so then we can do concatenate. So let's clear this bit. All right, let's load. Now you can see our name. So when you click on enter, you can see that we are now having this information. We just entered you entered username, right? You can see that we have the word, you enter the username. Now another thing also we want to do is that now remember that whatever that is coming here, if you print this at a type, whatever you are coming here is going to use the word, the stream. So whatever you are putting here automatically is the word, is a stream. So let's enter it and see, enter this blah blah blah. So when you enter, you notice that it is a stream. So if you are having a number, you need to convert this using a number. So that is it. So now this is the first assignment. So let's build one project for the day one. So let build the one project for day one. So on this day one, I come here and create the one underscore project dot py. So now oh, sorry about that. What are we actually going to be building in this day one, right? So now this is what I want us to build. A very simple app. Now what I wanted to do is actually a very simple app. So now this app goes this way. So what we are going to create a code generation. So a code generation name. So when you type it, so what I'm going to do that we create a greeting program. So let's create a greeting program. Then I ask the user for their information, either a username or a cohort that they want to join. And then let's see. So what we are going to do, we are going to have the first stage, second stage, third stage. So now this app is actually a script that can generate cohort for you, right? So the cohort number or cohort address. So what we are going to do is that the first thing we are going to do is to print. So the first thing, like I said, is to create a greeting for our program. So we can say here we have welcome to our cohort generation program, right? Right? So welcome to our cohort generation program. I will just quickly clear all this. Then if you print this out, who is giving me that type again? Let me also comment on this. All right. Now, so welcome to cohorts. Okay. All right. So let's quickly clear this. It's actually running the previous mhm. Result
You
of
need to open a new tab on it. The place that they have plus by the side of
this place.
file.
Where?
I think you're running a new file.
Yes. So the previous one is running.
When you click there, you see a new file.
Huh?
Close that console and open another one for the new tab you created.
Yes.
Okay, so let's run this.
Sir,
Yeah?
sir, it seems the replit is built in such a way that it only runs the main.py.
No, it's not. It's running the main.py. Let's see. Let's type like
It has renamed it for you to main.py.
I
It's built in, I think so. It's built in such
no,
a way.
it's not possible. It's not also named this. Oh, it's easy.
If they actually gave it an option to rename, then it's not built that way.
It's not built that
There's
way.
an option for it to be renamed.
I just rename it now. But So let me close all this. So we're having no such directory.
So it's until you rename the main pie. If you rename the main.py back to what it was, you see that it will run.
No, it's not possible. We can run as much as many program you want. It's not possible. It's not what I said. We fix it. So let's just, it's something we started using recently. So this usually we have some lapses, but we'll fix it. So why do we get that setting then? Somebody suggested the setting. Okay.
It's along that side. Is that down? Yeah. Is that 2? Along that side. I think it can come down.
Even scroll down, save.
Yes, press down first. Press down. Just be pressing down. Oh, no, don't click on tools.
No, you will have to drag that line on top of the tools
Let's
up
drag the
from
line up. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
User setting.
Down, 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 down. User setting.
Down. User setting. Somewhere there. Down.
Yes.
Mm, so it's telling us cannot fit open file user directory not file. So let's see where we have this. Okay. Okay, maybe it's because let's run this main. Let me see.
Until you rename it. It's installed once. So let's check the unit testing. Maybe.
No, unit testing is different. This is my repository. I think this actually added trying to understand this better. This is not our code. This is our code, right? Our repo. Okay, this is not our repo. This is a different repo. Let me check I got our repo. So this is actually our repo. Workspace. To run this same error. This is not even giving us like a direction how to fix this issue. No, we'll get by next class. We'll get this. By next class, we'll get this. I mean, there is a way of doing it which we are not learned yet. Mm. Let's run this and see. Okay. Maybe next class we are going to fix this. If run this. Okay, let's continue with the main graph. Maybe you fix this next class. So don't worry, next class we'll check it out. Let me just do some few settings. So that we'll build whatever I want to build tonight. Alright, so let's continue with this approach. So we'll just fix it next class. Alright, so this is day 2, day 1 rather. Let's collapse this. Alright, so like I said, I'm commenting on every aspect of the project here, from printing. So let me comment on this as well. Comment on this. All right, so what we are going to do, like I told you earlier, we are going to be building cohort generation. So what this app does is that it's going to generate a cohort for you. So the first stage of this is that we create a greeting. So create a greeting, a program that already have in mind. So let me comment on this. All right, so we run it, boom. We have welcome to cohort. So what we are going to do next is we ask the user for their cohort name, right? So what you need to do is you can say cohort underscore name, so equals to input, enter what? Enter your cohort name. So when they enter cohort name, enter your cohort name, right? Now, if that has been done, so we ask them for cohort number, right? Let's say cohort underscore number. Okay. Okay, this one we can say enter your name. Username. So what we're going to have here, enter username. So code number is input enter cohort number, right? So let's run this. So when you come here, they will say enter what? Your cohort, your username. Can say Skyline. Then next you see enter your number. I can see 200, right? Then we also collect here we can also create group equals to, you say cohort, right? Cohort. So the reason why we are doing this is that cohort. So the reason why we are doing this is very simple, so that the group will be cohort. So when the user come, we ask them to enter their name, their cohort number. Then if we get those information, their name and their cohort number, what you are going to be doing with that? Now, what you are going to do is that we combine the cohort number and the cohort name together, right? Then you can see what we have here. So what we have here is very simple. Your cohort name is. So let's do it manually so that. So what you are going to do, we print. So can say your cohort name is. Then this place you are closing the then you append the group, the cohort name. For you to do, you need to concatenate, then group cohort name, then plus the cohort. Then here before you say, you can say let's print the this thing first. Let's print the username. Say print, and you can say username. You can pass in the username. Can say account with the user name is confirmed, right? So account with the username, then we call the username, right? We put plus here, so inside here we'll put in our username. Okay, don't want to close this place first, then remove this place. So account with the username, so inside here we'll put username, account with the username. We have this is registered, right? So look at what we did here is that we add the user to enter the username. So the first thing we did is to welcome the user. So welcome the user. So this one will not be visible. If you come here, clear, you welcome the user with this code 99, then code 100, we assign the group name to be cohort. Then in this code 102, we call an input so that the user can enter their username. Then code 203, we have the code number, so the user can enter their input, which is to enter the code number. So in 104, we have print account with the username. So what we did here is that to compile a stream and the username, whatever user is entering here, we print it out here, then plus what registered. So this is actually a stream that will say account with the username. Let's say we add Skyline here, with Skyline is registered or is in our database or whatever. Then you print your account name is what. So next we are going to do is to print the account name. Your cohort name is, which is cohort. Then next one we'll concatenate cohort number, right? So this is the cohort number now. So this is the cohort number, and this is the group. If you come here and clear this, then click on run. So when I click on run, they will say welcome to cohort. Enter name enter name generation. Welcome to code name generation. So what we are going to do next is that look at this white arrow that is. I want you to come to the next line. I don't want it to be in the same line with the name. So what I'm going to do is to come here. So it's very, very simple to achieve. So what we are going to do is to come to this place. Then we put backslash and n, right? So if you come back here and clear to reload, you notice that we have this particular man down net. Then let's also do the same thing, backslash and n. So yes, you load it again. So here I'm going to say the enter name skyline, then enter cohort. So my cohort can be 30 or 20. Let's say cohort 20. Then they say enter. They say your username with account with the user skyline is registered. So the reason why we're having this, we need some space here. Of course, you know what we are going to do. Come here, add some space, right? Then can quickly go back and clear. Then run this man again, and username boom skyline. Then enter cohort. You can say cohort 20. Then enter username. They say the username with the cohort already exists, right? Is registered. Your cohort number is what? Cohort 20. So this is actually a very simple app. And when you look at this class tonight, you look at this, you understand what that is going on. So before I wrap up, I'd like to call somebody to come and explain what this code does and how it works. So let me call on the guy. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay, I'm not calling you because you're okay. Obina, are you there? Obina. Anaski, are you there? Chidima, Chika, Chinedu.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, so Chidima, quickly come and recue us here. Can you explain this code from 999 to like 105?
Okay. Actually, 99 is print to display the statement welcome to cohort name generation. So it will be displayed on the console. And then group is a variable, and the variable contains cohort. You know, as in cohort is being stored inside a variable named group. Then the next one is a variable named username, and then the impute function is used to get information from the user,
Okay.
just like we use prompt in JavaScript.
Yeah.
So in order to get information from the user, we use the impute function. And then on the impute function there, we enter a text, enter username. That will be the placeholder, functions as a placeholder. Then in JavaScript, I think they call it okay, no, not JavaScript, sorry. It's in HTML that they call HTML entities or something like that. But I don't know what this one is called. Sorry?
What is that? What is that?
The /n.
It's called
new line.
New line.
No, I'm talking about there's a general name for them. Just like in HTML, they have entities. There's a general name for it.
It's break. To break to a new line. Okay, fine.
So that's a new line. And then the cohort number, the variable cohort number, we generate we derive the information from the user using the input function, and the placeholder enter cohort number. Then we break it to the next line. Then after generating this, after deriving this information, now the console will print this information account with the username So this account with the username inside quotation is a string. And then this username is the variable. We use concatenation to fix them all together. And then the next string too is registered. So on the console now, it will be printed as account with the username. Whatever name that the user imputed will be shown there is registered.
Okay. That is